Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal. We got Dr. Brandon Nielsen back. And I tried to get him to introduce the last video or this video.
Yeah, but the thing is I always introduce her. I always like Jane E.B. But she says Jane with Barlow Herbal, like professional.
I'm so professional. No, so he said this Jane E.B.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have another question from some of you. So why don't you read what this is?
All right. How to build up. So the question is, how would you build up a reserve of spiritual energy of hope, kind of positively anticipating the future now? I'll start with that. Spiritual energy of hope. It's interesting. My dad, when I was a little, well, not a little boy, but kind of a mature boy, a young man, he said to me, and he taught me this principle. He said, it's interesting. And I'm gonna say, as far as talking about spiritual energy, whatever your greater being is, for me, I call it God. If it's Buddha or universe, some of my patients, whatever they use, I try to relate with them. But my dad, he said, if you're going to be able to have, in a sense, kind of this spiritual energy of hope when times are tough, he said, you've got to do it now. He almost called it your spiritual bank. And he said, if you can each day, so just imagine that each day, and this is something that I kind of adapted from him, but just imagine each day you only get one drop. And if you take it, great. If you don't get it. And so each day you have to actually get that one drop, and it's through like meditation, it's through prayer, it's connecting with God or others in the sense of spirituality. But if you don't take it, if you don't serve, if you don't check in and meditate or be with God or connect, you lose it for the day. What's interesting about that, though, he said, is after you have this bank of spiritual hope, when times get tough, you can call upon that, because maybe you're low and that day you don't feel like connecting, but you can just like call upon, and just the last thing that you can do is just please like cry out and be like, oh God, where art thou? Or, oh universe, help me. And I feel like we kind of get that little bit of hope. So that's what I would say as far as you've got to build it up.
Yeah, I think working on our spirituality is really important. In fact, there's a favorite quote of mine. I think it was either John F. Kennedy Jr. or John F. Kennedy who said, the time to repair your roof is when the sun is shining.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it.
Yeah, so like when the times are good, if you're in the mode of meditating, praying, giving gratitude, and you're really paying attention to the spiritual side of you, when the times are really, really hard, there's a huge reservoir of spirituality that can carry you through the hard times. And that's why you see people thriving during the hard times. And it's also the reason you see people just barely surviving these hard times. And I think that this spirituality piece of hope is, it takes a daily practice, and realizing that that's a really important part of us, because we're not just a physical being, we're spiritual beings. Our soul is endless, and it will always move on. And to me, that's a big part of understanding and practicing spirituality is we're going to, when this physical life is over, I personally believe that we carry on into eternity, and we have these eternal souls that we need to nurture. And if we don't pay attention to that, it can make us suffer here unnecessarily.
I agree wholeheartedly. My wife and I were just talking about this. I said, you know what? Times are amazing for us. I think they always are amazing. But I said, let's keep working on ourselves. Kind of like you're saying, repair the roof when it's sunny. I said, let's keep working on us and making our relationship so amazing and so strong right now. And then when things, if they do hit us, we have this reserve. We have this reservoir
which
of
is really
love
cool.
and hope.
So here's something that might be a little bit tricky for some of you, because I experienced a little bit of this myself. You might be in a position where maybe you are with someone who maybe thinks or believes differently than you. And I'm talking about someone literally who you are married to, or so that can be very difficult. And I thought about that when you said something about your wife. It's like you guys are together, and to me, this is...
Yeah, how do you do it on your own? Or how do you do it like if somebody's totally believing this, but you believe this? How do you do it?
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Oh, I know because I do. Yeah, so what you do is you remind yourself that we're all united. We are all one. In the end of it all, it really doesn't matter what we believe. As far as what is happening. Like if we're going to be
Oh, in the
relevant with
world
what's
and
going on
stuff.
in the
Yeah.
world right now, we're filming this in the very first part of January of 2021. We've all just been through a really interesting year
Yeah.
together, and there's been division.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can remember that spiritual part of yourself that connects us as human beings, it really doesn't matter if
I like
someone is
that.
different. Like
Yeah.
if someone is believing different, okay. Are they
Yeah,
still
I
a
see
good
what you're
person?
saying. They're
Okay.
great. They're still a
Yes.
person. We're still, yes, I agree.
So
I love it.
it could be challenging when because I know I've actually, besides just, and I don't mean, I bring up my relationship because me and my husband were raised very, very different. And we've had an interesting struggle of a year this year,
Mm.
but we still are together. I think we're stronger than we were before this whole thing started because we've been able to get through some really tough conversations and really tough, frustrating things. But I know for a fact that because of who we are and just the spiritual things that we know, it's gotten us through it. And I think it's just one of those things that sometimes you might be the leader. You might need to be the leader in a relationship and show the path of spirituality and love. And then the other person will come with you. Just give love. So
Yeah, one thing I would say to that is if you are in a tough relationship and maybe the spiritual energy of hope is diminished, reach out and get some love and reach out and have a friend or something that can give you hope. Like Jane and I, when we see each other, there's like hope happens.
yeah,
It's like, wow, life is really good. It's like, oh, it's good for you, it's good for me. Yeah, things are still great. I just spent time with some family members yesterday, and it's like we see each other and there's a sense of hope, and then we kind of go out into the world. It's like, oh, there's a reminder, but it's almost like we just kind of just charged our batteries yesterday together, and we walk
awesome.
out into the world, and it's like you see somebody wearing something or maybe not, you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, that's going on. Totally forgot about what's going on in the world. But we all rose together
Yeah.
and we're just energized. And I know I'm going to walk away from this today and I'm just going to be like, yeah, dude, can conquer the world. See what I mean? And then it's going to be amazing. So I would say if you can try to find some people as well that you can recharge your batteries with.
It's very important. It's
Some like-minded people.
Yeah, which is awesome. And I
Yeah.
love how that kind of took the spirituality, which, I mean, think about maybe your congregation or your
Mm-hmm.
spiritual group where you go and meet. One of the reasons that that's so important, an important part of humanity, and has been since the beginning of humans, is we get to go refresh and regenerate.
That is so important. And if you can't meet together, start meeting together with some people. I
Yes,
think that's so important.
I
You're
do
right.
too.
Wow. Very good. You guys, this is huge.
We
Congregate.
need each other.
Be with people. Be with each other. Help lift each other up.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that was
Go
great.
connect.
I really like that. Go connect. I like
I
it.
do too.
Okay.
That'll get you. Okay.
That's how we do it.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.